The following video contains mature scenes that are not meant for minors, therefore, viewer discretion is advised. The said idols are mere characters of the story with no concept of reality. Any resemblance with a place, person, or a thing is a mere coincidence. The plot was inspired by a Wattpad book, the name of which I do not remember. The storyline and plot, however, is highly modified. Copying my video will be strictly dealt with. Fluttering her delicate eyelashes, she opened her eyes just to find herself in a huge dark room with a broken ceiling and a rotting floor. She identified the place as a confinement zone, which was made to keep rogues and unidentified wolves like the one that was found in the territory a few days ago. She was puddled up in a corner, in a tiny cage that was just big enough for a small dog. What an awful way to start your adult year, right? From the corner of your eyes, you saw him, your mate, an alpha who was sitting at the corner of the room, staring at you intensely. His upper half was naked, showing his chiseled abs and well maintained body. It was your birthday today, meaning you get to find your biological mate, the one chosen by the moon goddess herself. And you did find him. You picked his scent up from near your house and followed it just to catch him in the forest, with your cousin cuddled up in his strong arms. Your Omega couldn't handle such a heartbreaking scene and fainted, and now here you are, prisoned, with your arms and your legs tied up with strong, thick ropes. I'm waiting for you, precious, he said, rolling his eyes from you to the direction of the bathroom, from which came a delicate tiny woman, dressed in a white doll, showing all of her assets. Wait, who's got precious? You identified the very familiar woman as your cousin, who sat up in the Alpha's app, moving a bit without any hesitation, trying to find a comfortable spot as the man under her moaned. This is surely not her first time sitting there, you thought to yourself. Usually don't mind their closeness, but it did hurt you a lot today. He looked at you in the eyes and smirked, squeezing your cousin's plumpy bottom, and snatched away her doll, making you look away in tears. Your wolf felt sad, rejected, and depressed. I know that by now you know that I'm your biological mate, but you see, my doll don't like it. So therefore, we want him to watch us get naughty, to set up some boundaries. I don't really want you to go around telling people that I am something to you. Well, your mate hated you from the start, from when you guys were small pups. You blamed the family rivalry, but it wasn't serious to a point that kids started hating each other. Plus, you guys were mates, right? Mates are supposed to love each other. Where did this uncalled hate come from? Every tear, every word tore up your soul. Your wolf shut itself down completely, feeling sad, broken, and dejected. Your This was the final step to their successful meeting. Your heart broke completely, but you couldn't just stop looking at them, staring at them, just to always remember how your chosen one didn't only reject your heart, but also force you to see him get with another woman. You would love to be an aunt, Ryan, won't you? An amazing aunt to my pups. Your cousin taunted you while taking your man with her. She stood up from the bed and spread her legs in front of you, giving you the view of her. Well, that was the last thing that you witnessed before shutting your eyes, fainting again into oblivion. Your heart finally at peace, not having to witness the torturous scene again. 2 days later, soft feathery kisses were pressed to your delicate abused wrists. A strong vanilla scent enveloped around you. Feeling an intense stare on yourself, you slowly open your eyes to meet the prettiest two eyes ever. You were warmly cuddled up in a strong, tattooed pair of arms as the man rocked you to sleep on his lap. You looked up and identified the man as the blood alpha, the leader of your pack, JUNGKOOK. He was the strongest, most dominant alpha in the history of Blacksman Pack who just rose to power after the command was handed over to him by his father, June William. You were a bit scared of his unexpected presence, making you rise up from his lap and look around. You were in a completely different room. This one was bigger than the community room of your territory. Alpha, what am I doing here? You asked timidly as Jungkook just hugged you tight and kissed your crown, making you blush a little. Don't worry, baby. You're safe here, away from the monsters who abused you. He caressed your waist soothingly and kissed your plump cheeks, making a red tint creep upon them. And it's Jungkook from a pretty Luna, he said, making you gasp. Your wolf could feel safer too. She was happy with him. Her heart was swooning over the male's beauty. But how could you have him as your mate? Wasn't it Jake, your ex-mate? But his scent? And why is he calling you Luna? You were clearly confused. I know what you're thinking about, darling. You just happen to have multiple mates. A rare omega indeed, chosen by the moon goddess herself. I might not be your biological mate, but can you explain the pheromones, the signs, the rousing scents? No, right? Other POV. Well, after your own mate rejected, Moon Goddess pitied you and paired you with Jungkook, the ferocious wolf who saw nothing but blood. His dominance would ooze out of his deep voice. Jungkook didn't have a mate. As the alpha, he had the power to choose his own mate, and he decided to choose you. The woman who captured his heart the moment he laid his eyes on her. Your delicate, submissive nature, honey tan skin, plumpy belly made blood rush to his veins, blurring the ability to think straight. When Jungkook found out that you were tortured and captured by Jake, he went along with his army of soldier wolves to get you out of there. He imprisoned Jake and his lover, wanting to torture his soul, satisfy the anger of hurting his precious flower. Jungkook baby, he saw you shivering in his arms. Your heat had approached you already. He kissed your bottom lip and rocked you again, trying to ease you. He slipped out of his shirt and removed yours too to get closer to your skin. I don't know how, Alpha, but you managed to soothe me. Your scent makes me calm, just like my mom's did. You need to rest, darling. You're too weak to think straight. Shh, calm down. Spread your arms and relax. I'll take care of you. Jungkook, I fainted, aren't we? You asked. By the moon goddess herself, he answered. To be continued.